Hi, I'm Mike Zima, an SEO and digital marketing expert, and I'm also an expat based in Mallorca, Spain. Today I'm going to talk about 3 motivational ways to stay motivated while you're working remotely. I haven't been working from an actual office for 5 years now, and when I'm talking to people and I tell them that I work from home and our whole team at Zima Media works from home, they go like, oh, I could never do that. And they wonder, how can you possibly stay motivated when you're at home and you have all of these distractions? I'm going to share 3 of the tips that we've cultivated here at Zima Media that you can apply to yourself in your organization and actually hack your productivity to be more useful and actually reward yourself along the way. So let's go through number 1. Don't work from bed. As tempting as it may sound, you don't want to work where you sleep. Make sure inside of your house or your apartment you have a dedicated space to do your work, whether it's a nook, a standing office, or a separate office altogether. It's important to separate your work life between your personal life, albeit how close it is in one place. If your living arrangements are not accommodating to actually have the luxury of working from home, but you still have the remote lifestyle, you should look into doing some work at a cafe. It's not a preference of mine, but allegedly people are they're always having the headphones and the laptop and the key mashing, so they're doing something useful there. But my favorite would be going to a co-working space, because not only does it open you up to an office environment where it's usually more quieter, it also gives you an opportunity to network and meet with different people, which can not only help your career, but it can also help your personal growth, because if you're just locked in a little room bashing away all day, it could make your personal development a thing to be concerned about. So make sure you look into a couple of those locations and you partition your work from your relaxing life. Say no to distracting websites. We've all been there. We're on YouTube trying to look up something really useful, and all of a sudden you're in a comment battle talking about conspiracy theories. Don't worry, it's all cool. We all lose productivity because we need that mental release to refocus ourselves. But along the way, there are a lot of these websites. You know what those sites are, whether it's fantasy sports, whether you're watching Netflix in between tasks. It's important to balance what your personal time is and what your work time is, because along the way, if you're not prioritizing your work above your free time, then it's going to start cannibalizing your productivity. You're going to start to be a low performer, and this is going to hurt the relationships that you have internally and externally as a remote worker. So along the way, determine what are those buffers that you need to have. If you see an interesting article that's 2,000 words long, don't get sucked into it, because you're going to start Wikipediaing it and going all over the net trying to learn different things about this article. If you just bookmark it and you come back to it later, you'll be amazed at how productive you'll be. And of course, if you have nothing to consume on a weekend and you have all these great articles that you're reading during the work week, it makes for better fun on your leisure time. So just put it inside your pocket and worry about it later. But sometimes you can be guilty of watching too many cat videos. Oops. Make sure you're incentivizing yourself. Nothing feels better than getting a reward. If you find yourself struggling to stay focused at work because you want to get caught up on the last episode of Game of Thrones, we're all guilty of those vices that we have in life. You have to think of how are you managing your time, and if that's a problem, then you're going to have to phrase it like, well, if I finish this task in 2 hours, give yourself a tangible timeline to finish that task, then I'm going to take my lunch break, I'm going to watch Game of Thrones, and I'm going to enjoy my time. Because here at Zima Media, we believe that you should incentivize yourself to complete tasks in a timely and efficient manner so you can focus on the next thing, because the clear points are defined in the task. You go ahead and you execute it, and you can just reward yourself. And ultimately, being a high producer and highly productive is going to be a great thing to reward yourself with. And sometimes you have that sweet tooth and that guilty pleasure that if you finish this task, you can have that treat. So whether you want to incentivize yourself by having some personal pleasures or some personal joys, or if it's some sort of affliction that you might have, like confectionaries and treats and donuts, whatever that may be, it might be that carrot and stick that you're looking for to just get you onto the next task, get you onto the next task. And you know what? That 2 hours of work for that 10, 15, 30-minute reward is going to compound into the next 2, 3, 4-hour tasks. And it's an ever continuing chain of productivity. So Try to look at it like that. If you get a little reward out of the workday, then you're going to be happier, your mood's going to be uplifted, and you're going to carry that over into your next task, and it's going to reflect in your work. So I hope these simple tips will help you stay motivated, incentivized, and make yourself a high producer as a remote worker. If you have any other tips that you use to motivate yourself and get yourself working and thriving inside of a remote office, co-working, home office environment, just drop it down here in the comments and I'll talk to you soon.